right, let's head on over to the tip of the week. I think this week's tip of the week is a great refresher for all of us, especially if we've been working on our site for a while. David put together these slides, and I think, the membership plan settings that BD offers, there's dozens of them there, but we just wanted to pick out some of our favorites that can really add value to your members and to the membership level plans that you're creating for them. So Dave, tell us a little bit about this and we can dive right into it.
Yeah, I think you pretty much explained it perfectly. There's so many options throughout the admin as a whole, but this week we figured we'd focus specifically on membership plans, and because there's so many settings within the membership plan options as well, we figured that it would be best to kind of pinpoint and highlight a few select settings that can really add some pretty good and unique value to your various membership plans and hopefully entice either just website visitors to purchase a membership on your site or to better fit membership plans and profile pages to what your website focuses on as a whole. So as we go through these, we've got some 5 main ones that we're going to focus on, as well as a few bonus ones after that. But for the most part, these are really going to be focusing on improving member retention, encouraging member interaction on your website. So not necessarily with other members, but encouraging them to take specific action on your website, to keep them on your site and interacting with it in various ways, as well as increasing member upgrades so that you can increase your revenue, and then also hopefully reducing some support inquiries depending on how you utilize some of these settings. So we listed out the top 5 settings that we'll be going over here, and then we'll go and dive into each one individually. But the first one is adding a unique sidebar on the sign up or the checkout pages on your website. We've got some really good tips for this one. So here on the right hand side, you could see just a sample checkout page. This is actually one from brilliantdirectories.com. But ones on your directory websites are very similar, and you can add similar sidebars to those as well. You can set specific sidebars depending on the membership level, and in these sidebars, you can add unique widgets. And these can consist of confidence boosters, maybe answering some last-minute questions or concerns that you think potential members may have while they're checking out. If you want to address those and try to quell their nerves a little bit that way. And then you can also reinforce the major benefits and features that they'll be receiving when they do purchase this membership. That way you're really reinforcing all of the good stuff that they'll be getting and minimizing the chances that they'll end up turning away from this checkout page.
Yeah, and I know a lot of us here on the webinar are actually using confidence boosters in this sidebar. We did have an article in our support center. So those of you who aren't doing this yet, this is kind of a step-by-step guide for getting started on how to add a similar confidence boosters to the sidebar. So we do have the first step, and we have some code you can put and just replace the text and some examples there. If you're not comfortable with the code and all that stuff, you can go to places like canva.com and just create like banner ads that kind of have the text built into the image and just put the images there in the sidebar. That would be the easiest thing for anyone to do if you're not comfortable actually like coding with the text and stuff. Just make images that have the text built into the element itself.
Yeah, we actually did dedicate an entire tip of the week specifically to confidence boosters. That, of course, is available in our blog section as a short video snippet, but support center page that Jason shared is perfect for actually giving you instructions on how to set one of these up yourself and providing you with some sample code as well. So number 2, upgrading the page header and description for the upgrade pages when your members are choosing a higher tiered membership plan to upgrade to. So as many of you know, there's settings to configure whether or not members have the opportunity to upgrade to a higher tier membership plan, whether that be just strictly a price difference or differences in features. There's some settings that you can configure to add additional details to this upgrade page within their account so that you can reinforce the extra benefits that they'll be getting with those higher tiered plans should they choose to upgrade. And again, this acts very similarly to the sidebar on the checkout pages. you can really utilize this space very well to better entice users to upgrade, explain why it's worth upgrading, maybe offer some promotions or coupon codes within this area to really get them to commit to that upgrade. There's various ways you can utilize it, but it's an incredibly useful setting, and you can really utilize this space very well.
And actually, let me show everyone where this one is, because again, not everyone might be too familiar with this. If you go to the Finance tab, to your member plans here, and let's just click on one to edit, this bronze plan. So under the Pricing tab, if you scroll down, there are these two input boxes here for upgrade page header. So this is where you would put the hey, you should upgrade your plan, and leave this membership level and go to our other membership levels. You're missing out. And then this one is under the different plans that would be listed. Let's say there's 3 plans. You can list the benefits of this specific plan that you're editing. We're actually going to turn these 2 input boxes into the text editor, so it'll be a little easier to use to style these sections a bit. But we do have a quick workaround, which I'll explain in another slide. But basically, until we turn these into the text editor boxes, you could actually go to like edit web pages and just create a new page, style up whatever you want to say here, and get it the way you want it to look, and then just click on over to the code view and then copy and paste the code view and paste it into here. So a little complicated if you're not familiar with that, but basically using the text editor from the edit web pages and pasting the code here in the meantime while we get these the text editors working in here.
Yeah, and here on the screenshot, you can see the 2 different sections. So where that red arrow is pointing, that's that text area on the right in the settings, where you can add details specifically for this membership plan, why members should upgrade to that specific plan. The text right above it is that header content section. So number 3, profile page overview items order. So on member profile pages, there's the overview tab. By default, this is the very first tab that's displayed on profile pages, and it's where the contact information, additional details, location map, as well as their quote and any other kind of general information that you have on the member is displayed. So what you can do is you can actually rearrange the sections within this overview tab so that it better reflects the information that your website or your directory as a whole is providing to the end user. So for example, if your directory really isn't too focused on specific locations, like for example, if maybe you have just a very small niche local directory where providing a map really isn't all that important, then you can choose to remove it or move it farther down on the overview tab and prioritize maybe the business's contact details at the top of the tab.
And what's really good is also, again, considering your lower tiered and higher tiered membership levels, you can actually turn off some of the information. Let's actually take a look real quick again as what information you can have there in the overview tab. So the settings for that, again, go to membership plans, edit one of your levels, and then toggle on over to the profile tab. And if you scroll down, we have the profile page overview tab order. We covered this in a previous webinar. So by default, there's 5 things here: Google Map, their personal quote, contact details, listing details, and their About Me section. So you can certainly arrange the order, but maybe for your lower tiered members, you don't display all the information, and it's only for higher tiered members, which for your higher tiered members, it'll display basically a more decorated member profile page. So just some things to consider about the control you have. Generally for your lower tiered members, you want to give them just enough so they have some value, but you want to suppress or restrict some things perhaps to make your higher tiered plans show a lot more perceived value.
And moving on to number 4, this is a great one. This is another one that I believe we covered in a previous tip of the week as well, but the dashboard, the member dashboard, header and footer, custom HTML. So there's in the member dashboard, typically when a member logs in, this sent straight to the dashboard page, and here they have the links to add content, to manage their account, and basically just general account management kind of links. With this setting, you can choose to add additional custom content to the very top of this dashboard area. As you can see in the screenshot where that red arrow is pointing, that's all custom content that's been added to this member dashboard. If this content wasn't there, then the dashboard would just start at that progress bar. So in this area, you can add for new members maybe next steps, so that you lay out a clear plan of actions that your new members can follow in order to get their profile completely set up and start adding content. You can promote either website news specifically for your website if maybe new features are released, or you can promote industry news here if there's really something groundbreaking that's happened within your website's target industry. You can also provide upgrade promotions if you're running discounts on membership plans, or maybe an event is going on and you really want to publicize it to your members. When they log in, you can put that information right here on this very first page that they view. So there's a lot of really useful opportunities that you could take advantage of with this setting.
And also let me show where this setting is. It's also in the member dashboard. With this one, actually, you can create a custom HTML widget, and all you need to do on this one is select which custom widget you want to display here, because you can have both a header and a footer. And I've seen people do some really amazing things for their introductory levels. I've seen them create like a little welcome message and actually have a welcome video here explaining how the people can get the most out of the website and things like that. So it's really great real estate right there in the member dashboard for your users. So this one is also in the membership plans, of course, because that's what we're talking about. This one would be under the additional settings and under the member dashboard options. So what you have here are it's two drop downs, because all you need to do is select the custom widget you want. So if you have customized widgets on your site, you would just select them here and they would show above or below the dashboard content respectively.
Yeah, I think as you mentioned, embedding a YouTube video or a Vimeo video in this section is really a creative use of the space, and also one that's really shown to provide lots of use and value to members, whether it's just a simple welcome video explaining members about their new benefits, or welcoming them to the community, again, mentioning next steps for them to take. If you embed a video here, it's a really creative way and welcoming way to invite members in as soon as they log into their accounts. And lastly, this setting isn't actually in the membership plan settings, it's in the post settings for all the different kinds of posts. But you can choose the order that a specific posts tab is displayed on members' profile pages. So again, in the screenshot, that red arrow is pointing to the events tab on this specific member's profile page. So if you go into the events post settings, you can choose what position the events tab is displayed on member profile pages. So in this example, events is all the way last. If you have a website focused specifically on events, you might want that tab to either be first before overview, maybe you want it after overview, but you can choose to rearrange that order and move it up to prioritize it and showcase the events that this member has published. And again, this setting is available for all the different kinds of post types, so you can reorder and rearrange and optimize these tabs based on your website's goals.
Yeah, exactly. Based on the website's goals. And I actually see this a lot for sites that are photo rich. The members have photo albums, and we see a lot of wedding vendor directories on Brilliant Directories. And the first thing you want to see, obviously, is the eye candy from the beautiful photographs that the vendors are publishing. So perhaps you want to make the first tab not the overview tab, but one of the photo album tabs. Same thing could be said about a classified ads website. Just like if someone has an eBay account or something like that and they're posting lots of content, the first tab would probably be all the classified listings, not necessarily the overview tab, which would be extra information that the user would want to see, not the main information. But let me show everyone where they can edit this as well, because these are post settings. They're not necessarily in the membership plan settings. So what you can do is if you go to content and edit post settings, and I'll just choose one of these, for example, the properties one. Perhaps you have a real estate site. So where you want to go is the profile page design tab here. And you can see here the second option is the profile page tab order. And it goes from 0, that would be the first one, all the way down to 25. I haven't seen a site with more than 10 or so, but it goes all the way to 25. Now, if you're not seeing it in the first order, the order is not correct, just make sure you don't have two with the same number because it might be throttling or toggling between the two that have the same number saved. But just in general, you can go from 0 to the higher numbers, and that is the order that they will display on the members profile page. So it really depends on your site's goals, but that's another way to showcase better content. You kind of help the member in that because you're presenting their best content there, and you help the visitor because they're on your site mainly for a certain type of content, and you're going to give that to them first.
One important note, and I suppose a slight caveat with this setting currently, is that because it's not currently in the membership plan settings, it's in the edit post settings, this applies universally. So regardless of what membership plan a member is in, the tab order will be the same regardless of the membership plan.
Those were the 5 that we thought were the famous, but there are some honorable mentions, you can say here, some bonus settings that really do add a lot of value to your members, and what we feel can help separate your lower tiered plans from your higher tiered plans, demonstrating more value. One thing that's just really important that I think is overlooked is the redirect page after login. So by default, when your members log in, they are taken to the member dashboard area. However, you are able to define a new page when members log in that they're redirected to. This could be a members only page. Maybe that's why they're really logging into your site, is to get that members only access to certain type of content. Or maybe you're creating a portal where they get links to multiple members only content pages. So you can create a portal page. Once they log in, they're taken to that page, and then you present them with the 6 or so links that take them further into your site for the members only content. But when you're editing a membership level, it is the second input option here. And it's called redirect page after login. And again, by default, it's just the account homepage, which is perfectly fine. That's probably good for the majority of people. But if you have certain special circumstances on your site, or a certain type of audience, or different type of members on your site, you might want to take advantage of this. Number 2, I think this one actually everyone is familiar with. It's the search results priority. But just in case you're not familiar with this, under the search visibility tab, there is a wealth of options here and settings to give certain members more visibility on your site. And the first one here is the search results priority. So what this does is members of this membership level, 0 is the most priority, so it goes from 0 to higher numbers, but members that have a better search results priority will always display ahead of other membership levels on your site. So this is especially helpful for members that are paying to be on your site, or who are special on your site, or a higher tiered membership level on your site. You definitely want to give them more search results priority, and with that, they're essentially going to get more visibility on your site, more inquiries if they're professionals trying to connect with clients or customers. They're going to get more inquiries. So there definitely is more value for being in a membership plan with a higher search results priority. And there also, just to take this a step further, there is a setting for posts like jobs and coupons and events and articles where this search results priority also applies. So they can get double, triple, quadruple benefit if they're posting content on your site as well. Let's just use the properties one as an example here. Under the search results design, because this is related to their position in the search results, if we scroll down and go to the additional settings, here's the option respect membership plan search priority. So if you have a bunch of members publishing content for, let's say, events, if this is set to yes, then if you're searching for events on the site and it's going to respect the search results priority, it's going to put these members, the members who have more priority, it's going to put their posts ahead of the lower tiered members. So this, I think, is the biggest value, is the post, because members can publish lots of posts as opposed to just having one profile on the site. So if you haven't utilized this, or your site is content heavy and you're not utilizing this, you definitely may want to consider this. Okay, number 3, and we talked about this actually the reviews today, the ability for members to accept or delete their own reviews. Now, depending on your business plan, you may not want to use this feature, but generally higher tiered members are paying to be on a site mainly for advertising. They get enough guff from sites like Yelp and Google, where they really can't moderate or control their reviews. So your site can work as an advertising tool for them. So with that said, if you provide them with the access and the privilege to accept and delete their own reviews, obviously they're going to keep their best reviews and remove the bad ones, but their profile page works as a beautiful testimonial for their business and a wonderful advertisement for their business. And your lower tiered members, maybe they don't have that privilege and they're kind of stuck with the bad reviews. So just something to consider when you want to give your members a little bit more control over their profile page and really turning it into a high value asset for their business or organization.
And actually going into reviews, if you do have the VIP add-ons club, we do have the reply to member reviews add-on that allows members to actually reply to reviews that have been left for them on their profile page. So that's another feature that you could provide to your premium members and hold back from your lower tier members to try to entice them to upgrade to a premium plan.
And let me show everyone where this one is, since we're doing a lot of show and tell today, just quickly. This one is back in the membership plan settings. I'll head on over to edit one of these. And it's also under search visibility. If you scroll down, there is a section for member reviews, and it's this option here, ability to accept and delete reviews. And then this one is an add-on, but members can reply to reviews. This is also a big one. Giving your members to reply to either negative or positive reviews gives them a voice to react to the person who left the review. And again, this can be a feature that you only provide to your higher tiered membership plans or levels. So you might want to consider the options here in the member review settings. All right, we're almost done with the bonus list here. Number 4 on this list are the member search permissions. Now this one is more so if not all the members on your site, for example, general users and things like that, are searchable on your site. If you scroll down more in the search visibility, we do see the member search permissions. Now everyone always sees these, like, are these members searchable on the website? If they're absolutely not searchable, you can just set them to no, and all they're doing is creating a record of themselves in your internal database. But if they are searchable in the public directory, you can take it further and you can select which other members these members can search for. So right now I'm on a bronze plan, and perhaps the only other person I can search for are silver plans. And I can't search for anyone else. I know LinkedIn uses this a lot, something similar where premium LinkedIn plans, you have to pay to get more access to view different types of users. So you may or may not need this functionality, but it is here, and the logic is here. Here, another example is employers searching for employees. Perhaps employers can't search other employers, but they can only search employees, and vice versa. Perhaps employees can't search other employees, but they can search employers. So those are just a couple scenarios where this setting might come into play. And obviously, the more you can search, the more you can see and find. And lastly is choosing whether to show banner ads on listings or not. So you might be using banner ads around your site. You might be promoting internal pages on your site with the banner ads. They could just be Google AdSense. But something to offer your higher tiered plans is that they'll have an ad-free profile page, whereas your lower tiered members, you might display Google ads and things like that on their page, which could really distract and take away from their profile. So let me show you where that is. That's going to be under additional settings, and there are a wealth of settings here for the member profile page, the member's profile page. And over here we can see show banner ads on listings. If you set this to no, the banner ads that you create in your design settings will not display in their sidebar, their header, their footer, anywhere on their page. So they have a little bit more of a professional look, and it's unobstructed from any ads showing on their profile page. So your higher tier members, depending on your industry, may appreciate that more elegant profile page.